guys, this is Pro John Mandona, your online host, and I will be tutoring you in science and mathematics. So welcome back once more. So before anything else, I want you to subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe so that you can receive the latest videos and information. So we're going to continue under the topic of classification, but today we're going to discuss the kingdom fungi, the fungi kingdom. So let us proceed. So we are going to first discuss the general characteristics of this kingdom. So one thing that we are supposed to know is that the organisms in this group are all multicellular. By multicellular, it means that it consists of different cells and they are all piled together. Some might be organized in a certain way. Yes, there is a specialization of cells there. A well-defined autonucleus, it contains a true nucleus, double membraned organelles. So this one contains organelles with two membranes. The cell walls of these organisms are made up of chitin. They are non-photosynthetic, so which means they do not carry out the process of photosynthesis and they do not contain chloroplasts. They feed through saprophytic nutrition, so which means they are mostly decomposers, for example, mushrooms and toadstools. So this is a simple representation of the fungi kingdom. So now let us proceed with one illustration. The Zygomicota phylum. So this phylum is, as we can see with the illustration, that is a Zygomicota phylum. So let us discuss the Zygomicota phylum. These fungi are usually found on cheese, bread, and other decaying food. The zygote forming fungi, hence the name Zygomicota. So these actually form a certain zygote, and the zygote actually arises the name, which is the Zygomicota. But they release spores, which is encased in a round casing, which is the sporangium. When the sporangium breaks open, hundreds of spores are released. An example of certain species found in this phylum is the mucor or the rhizopus, which is found on bread mold. To discuss further about the Zygomicota phylum, the first thing is that it is a class of terrestrial fungi which is mostly saprophytic, rarely parasitic. So they are rarely parasitic. Does it mean that they are not parasitic? The mycelium is multinucleate. By multinucleate is that it contains numerous nuclei in it. The hypha wall contains chitin or fungus cellulose. So which means its walls is made up of chitin, which in this case is fungus cellulose. Motile cells. So it contains cells which might be motile, but zoospores and planogametes are absent, but it contains mitospores, which are spores when reproduction spores are formed, and spores are non-motile, but they are called sporogiospores, as the spores are formed inside the sporangia bone at the tip of a special hyphus called the sporangiophores. The gametes are multinucleate and are called cynogametes. Sexual reproduction produces resting diploid spores called zygospore. So this zygospore, when the zygospore is produced, it is going to arise to a new sporangium. So this particular phylum can undergo both sexual and asexual reproduction, but the zygospore does not give rise to a new mycelium direct, no, but the sporangium arises. So an example is the squitting fungus, the rhizopus. We go to another phylum, which is the ascomycetes. fungi, which is a sac fungi. Some of the important points to know about this fungi is it is a class of diverse fungi numbering for over 30,000 species. They include pigments, moths, powdery mildew, and cap fungi, but they are decomposers. They can be parasitic at some times, and they are saprophytic. Its mycelium of hyphae. Its mycelium consists of hyphae. Yeasts are exception in that they are basically unicellular. They may, however, form short temporary filamentous structure called pseudomycelium, which can be a bit used for movement, even though they might be non-motor. So their cell wall is also made up of chitin or fungus cellulose. They are also motile, but do not occur in their life cycle. In yeasts, asexual reproduction occurs through budding or fission. The majority of this phylum is that the common mode of reproduction is through the formation of the conidia, which is conidia means similar. We go to a different phylum, which is the phylum Basidiomycetes, which is known as club fungi. These phylum are mostly advanced and most commonly seen fungi as fructifications are often large and conspicuous. Examples are mushrooms, toadstools, and other. There are a lot of examples we can pick from. But this particular phylum is best for decomposing wood, and only a few insects can compete with this phylum. This phylum is able to decompose cellulose and lignin because lignin is actually something which is metabolized by few organisms, and other fungi and bacteria cannot metabolize such a material. Its form of reproduction is by fragmentation and does not reproduce spores. Motile structures are absent in this case. The mycelia are in two types, primary or secondary. The primary mycelium contains monokaryotic cells, that is having a single haploid nuclei, and the monokaryotic phase of primary mycelium may multiply by oidia, conidia like spores, and pisonospores. Dikaryotic mycelium do not multiply as sexual spores. They are often differentiation of the two mating types, which is the positive and the negative types. Sexual reproduction does not have sex organs. Instead, plasmogamy, which means the fusion of protoplasts without fusion of their nuclei, occurs by fusion between basidiospores and other monokaryotic spores between the spores or spermatium and the hypha, or between the hypha walls of the primary mycelia. And examples are Rhizopus, Agaricus, and Penicillium. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe as we go to another form of classification. These are just brief notes to help you understand classification, but if you have specific concepts, please leave a comment. Thank you.